Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of Echoes from the Aether. So I've been working on this story for probably about a decade now. I think I started first writing this back in 2014 when I was stationed in Hawaii. Really, it just kind of started fleshing itself out as I wrote more and more stories, and I realized that as I grew as a writer and as I developed and started honing my craft, that I really wanted to build this massive universe just around the possibility of what else could be around us. So everything about this story is dark, gritty, and grim. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that that is life. Life has very, very, very rough edges. And unfortunately, no matter how many times we try and put a polish of varnish over that, it just stays rough. So really, I write the way that I've seen the world and the way that I have viewed the world over the course of time. So the Aether War spans millennia. Like, this is a old story. This is thousands and thousands of years old, starting back at the origin of the Big Bang plus a billion. Evolution of life starts way, way, way out at that origin source and just slowly builds. So you're looking at two individual organizations, one of which is the primacy, who we will view as the good guys in this. And then you have the faction, who you may consider the bad guys. But really, the case in point is there's really no such thing as a good guy or a bad guy. It's just one view of ideals over another. So really where this starts is about 50 years in the future. So we're looking probably about 2070. Tech's gotten a little bit better, but the setting's still very familiar. The setting is based out of the upper Midwest in Georgia. We're working a little bit more into cities than we are anything else because that's where all of our origin sources are. We'll get into that a little bit later. But right now you have your two warring individuals, you have your two warring factions. This has been going on for the better part of a millennia, like I said before. And right now we're at a time of peace. This is really a recent event, probably within the last decade or so, with give or take 5 years. And that started all at The Culling, which if any of you have had an opportunity to read one of my short stories called The Culling, it kind of fills in this gap. So what you're seeing is right now the stalemate and much of what's been built around there. So after the events of The Culling, the terms were drafted. The terms act as oaths of neutrality for each organization. They can't move against each other. They can't do anything without the approval of the other. Everything stays in constant Congress. The problem with that is that now both groups have to operate in the shadows. So what's really becoming the Aether War is now becoming known as the Shadow War. As the Shadow War develops and as it progresses, you start to see more and more of our characters come into play. And then that'll be our next topic. This is all grounded in basic physics and reality. So there may be a quote unquote moment where you see magic happen, but it's not magic. Remember that magic is just stuff that science hasn't explained yet. And there you have it. That in a nutshell is pretty much the Aether War series. It'll be starting to come out every Friday. There's already a couple on the site if you want to go ahead and take a look at them. Definitely an interesting read. I'll give you a forewarning. They're a little graphic, so don't let the kids read it unless you're one of those cool parents. My name's Chris. I am the author of the Aether War Chronicles and the Aether War series. You can actually check out my site now at twinride.com and check out all the stories from Echoes at the Aether. So welcome to Echoes at the Aether. Let's get started.